Did you get as hyped for Marvel Future Fight as I did when you saw the new Deadpool 3 trailer? If not, pause this video right now and go and watch it. It released like 8 hours ago or something. I saw it first on Twitter, and then I saw it again on my phone after that, like on my PC after that. It's a pretty good trailer, I'm not going to lie, but what's better about it, in my opinion, is what we could be seeing, hopefully, in the game. Because it seems like whoever filmed this, well, not whoever filmed it, Sean Levy and the guys behind the movie and stuff, they're really putting a lot of effort into this. Now, I don't want to talk about it too much without first giving you guys a spoiler warning. So obviously, spoiler warning, this goes into details of the movie. If you don't want to know anything about the movie, you should not watch this video. You also shouldn't watch the trailer for that matter. But yeah, if you have seen the trailer, hopefully you've seen it by now. It basically brings Deadpool into the TVA. He gets abducted by the TVA. You can see a little TVA mug right there. And then they basically show him his Deadpool suit. It's unclear whether this is like in the future or in the past related to Deadpool 1 and 2. It's really unclear in that sense. It almost seems like he hasn't seen this outfit ever, or he hasn't seen it in a long time. But anyways, he becomes Deadpool. And he becomes the Deadpooliest Deadpool that's ever Deadpooled. I really can't put it any other way, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Deadpool. Like, I haven't read all the comics and whatever. I'm not like a Rob Liefeld fanboy, but he looks and feels so much like Deadpool. And so the premise, I guess, or at least one of the premises of the movie, is that they want to bring Deadpool into the MCU. And so there's sort of like fourth wall, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, acknowledging that there's been the Avengers movies, that's Thor Ragnarok, right? There's been all this content, and we're bringing you in to sort of beef things up even more. Obviously, Deadpool's going to do his thing. He's going to make his jokes, whatever. But yeah, it looks really nice. And there's what I like the most about it, like I've said already, he feels really like Deadpool, which he did already in the first two movies, but I don't know. There's just something that feels extra about this one. There's something that feels extra about this one. The action scenes definitely feel really nice. You can see the 20th Century Fox logo in the background. Just okay. Here's a perfect example. So this snow fighting scene sort of feels like in Avengers when they all jump at the same time and there's that slow mo. It kind of feels like that, and I hope they meme on it. But just this reload scene right here, this one right here, where he reloads this gun, boom, and then he reloads that gun, boom. And then he just the way he does it. I don't know. Is it just me? It just feels really smooth in a way. It feels really tight and really right in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. So with what has been going on with the MCU, if you guys have not seen it, or if you've missed it, the MCU has not been doing well, right? Phase 4 didn't do very well. The Marvel Disney stock went down. I'm still holding on to it. The movies did poorly. Quantumania bombed. A lot of their shows bombed, etc. Each show was basically setting new record lows for number of people watching the first episode and number of people watching the last episode. I think only What If Season 2 managed to have pretty decent numbers. But even that wasn't really talked about after the holiday season, so I feel like it didn't do that well. I haven't seen it yet myself. But this is the only project they have slated for this year, I believe, at least in the movie department. This is the only thing they have going. And Bob Iger, the CEO, has been quoted endlessly in interviews over the last few months about how Disney has not been following the right formula. And they've been focusing on quantity over quality. And how he basically is trying to move the company in a direction to focus on quality over quantity, to cut down the number of things that they're doing, but to get back to doing them right, which I think we can all agree would be a really good change from what we've seen lately with Marvel stuff. So especially Marvel stuff, I would say. So I'm really excited for this movie. I think it's going to be a really good movie. I also hope that it's good. I don't really have like very high expectations for the Deadpool movies, just that they hit that Deadpool note. And 1 and 2 really did do that, so I don't think they're going to screw it up on the third time around. I just hope that this is like a bigger, more bombastic version. And then obviously you have the inclusion of Wolverine, so that's going to be massive. I wonder what... Oh, that's Secret Wars. There's so many Easter eggs in this trailer. That's the other thing I felt about this trailer, is the number of Easter eggs in it were plentiful. And it sort of felt like... I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get ahead of things, but it sort of felt like the MCU used to be, where you got sort of hyped for trailers. It's not back to obviously like Infinity War Endgame level, but I still think it's pretty nice, and especially the way that this trailer is framed. It doesn't frame them as working together. I know the movie is literally called Deadpool and Wolverine, but I think the way that the trailer is framed, and that may be misleading, which the MCU used to do, by the way. Remember when they used to mislead us with the trailers? Yeah, I kind of miss that. It makes it seem like they're adversaries because Deadpool actually gets punched through a wall. He gets punched through a wall here, and then, yeah, he gets thrown through that wall. That's obviously a different cut than this cut here, because in that other cut, he was lying against the logo. This one, he's lying on his back, so that's obviously not the same scene. But yeah, it sort of seems like they're not friends. Obviously, that's going to change by the end of things. Obviously, they're going to make up. But there's so many things that could happen through this movie. Now, as far as how it relates to Marvel Future Fight, at the very least, we're going to be getting an upgrade and a tier 4 for Deadpool, which is going to be huge. He's been garbage for so many years and essentially has been unusable since they introduced Pierce. Really, Pierce was the death of Deadpool because of the fact that he relied so heavily on all defense down. And the devs basically admitted, unintentionally, right? They admitted implicitly that they didn't know how to fix the character once they introduced Pierce, because they introduced new updates with new uniforms, right? They had the 30th anniversary, and then they had the April Fools. They tried really hard to make a lot of money off of Deadpool's uniforms, and they were so bad. They even brought in Jeff to sell the uniform, and it's still so bad. Like, I can't tell you. I'm not even talking about the aesthetics. I'm talking strictly about the usability of these uniforms. They relegated him to a support. Not even just a support, like a leadership-only support for Gwenpool, which is horrendous, right? Which is really, really, really bad. So I hope that they get it back on track here. They sort of can't miss with this one, the devs I'm talking about, because it's his movie, right? It's a Deadpool movie. It's Deadpool 3. You know, he's finally coming to the MCU. They're going to want to do it really big. So I guarantee there's going to be an update in the game for this. I know that people have had questions in the past because we didn't get updates in the past for the Deadpool movies 1 and 2. The difference being that those were before, right, when it was owned by Fox, not owned by Disney. Now it's all owned by Disney. It's all in-house. It's all under the mouse. That's going to make a huge difference. So I think for sure this is going to get top billing in video games, in Contest of Champions, in MFF, etc. And then, of course, that also leaves our favorite short Canadian getting another upgrade here, Wolverine. Wolverine's, I think, is probably going to be more of like a horizontal upgrade if we've seen what recent updates have looked like for characters like Doctor Strange. So I'm going to actually set my expectations really low for the Wolverine upgrade. I always set my expectations really high, and then I always get disappointed. Death of Wolverine is probably the first uniform that almost lived up to my expectations. Like, it was very, very close. So I think I'm going to lower my expectations this time around just so that I'm not disappointed. It might be really good. They might make it like PvE only, and then you have like an option, PvP versus PvE. Who knows? Who knows? But he should be getting something for sure, and it'll be something very similar to his base look, which I think is very, very nice. It's going to be very, very cool, and it'll be nice to see maybe finally they'll make him look a little bit like Hugh Jackman. Not that I want him to look like Hugh Jackman. I prefer him to look comic accurate, but it'll just be interesting to see what the art team does, because they have a knack for making the characters look quite true to life. However, I do want to pass it over to you guys, because having seen the trailer a couple of times here, I can't really pick out anyone else that matters that I can really tell as being in the movie, in the sense of like big time characters. Right at the beginning, you do see a lot of familiar faces because they're celebrating his birthday. So you see that guy, I don't know what his name is, Paul or whatever, the guy who has no powers, and he's just like, he's there for a good time. You see Dopinder, I believe. You see Colossus. You see Shatterstar. You see Negasonic and her girlfriend. I can't remember her name. You see the old lady. You see his girl. Yeah, I said that. You see his girlfriend. So you do see quite a few, familiar faces. But other than that, like, I don't think any of those characters are going to come to the game. Shatterstar, maybe. This is the guy I was talking about. I don't know. Paul? John? I don't know what his name is. But yeah, maybe, possibly Shatterstar, but that would be by far the only one. I would love Miranda Baccarin to be added to the game. I've had a huge crush on her for a long time, ever since Firefly. But that's obviously not going to happen. So yeah, hit me up if you guys have any ideas. Maybe they'll do like a TVA thing. Who knows? It doesn't seem like I don't think the TVA is going to be massive in this movie. I think they're just going to be a way of bridging the gap between Deadpool and Fox and Deadpool in the MCU. And then, of course, Hugh Jackman. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Is there anybody else that, like Secret Wars, right? They could open the door to literally anyone. Of course, mutants would be first billing, would be most closest to Deadpool. But beyond that, it could really be anybody. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the trailer. Let me know if you're hyped for the movie. I'm going to be buying those tickets as soon as they come out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm hopeful that we got some stuff on the horizon for the game that's going to be really, really good. Anywho, thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.